game away. Nicest guy in sports is getting another title.
So you...
I've become a Dodger fan.
What's that?
I've become a hardcore Dodger
Okay.
fan.
I'm always going to stick with the Braves, sorry.
Yeah, you know, all the people that I knew with the Braves growing up that paid for my life all retired. So,
But my heart's still with them. Is
yeah,
your
I
heart
can't.
still with them?
Nah, I root for people I know. You know, you get to a position in sports where you know a lot of people. You know, so like I root for the Clippers because Lawrence Frank and I are friends. So you know, Coach Roberts is a great guy.
He is.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, you had a close scrimmage. I don't remember how long ago it was, but
Yeah, I don't even know what day it is.
what were your kind of impressions and takeaways from that?
Well, we didn't play it as a game, so I use it as practice. We played 8 groups of 5. So I literally had to stop, put 5 guys in. So it was like a hockey shift so all 5 guys came out every 5 minutes. So I predetermined, just trying to see guys play together, try to use it as practice. So, it's always good to play against somebody that plays defense and is physical, because what happens is with teams, everybody runs things and everything works. And, you know, everything works 5-on-0, everything works. You get the ball wherever you want. It's always easy. The ball goes in. If not, you grab it, lay it in. So it's good to get resistance. You know, that's why I like scrimmaging them, because they always give you resistance. But we did not play it as a game.
Okay. Did you find some lineups you liked?
Well, I would say that I got educated. So we'll see. You know, tomorrow night will be the first time that I got to figure out and take a shot at what's our best rotations. Our starting lineup may not necessarily be our finishing lineup because of our depth. You know, what I would tell you is I have opinions of our best offensive lineup, and I have opinions of our best defensive lineup, which are different.
You gonna share them?
No.
With tomorrow being a bit of a kind of test run, as you're saying, how do you measure the success? Like, what are the indicators that are going to gauge that readiness of the team?
Yeah, I mean, look, when games that don't count, I'm not a big scoreboard guy. So I try to, there's things that that we need to work on tomorrow. Like some people say, well, you shouldn't even run any offense because you don't want Ryder to see your team. But then again, then why are you playing the game? How do you get better if you don't do something? So you just kind of, you got to do some stuff. You don't want to show everything. So it's a little bit of a give and take. You know, I think that half of it is just get the guys get the uniforms on and play a game in front of fans for the first time. And playing, you know, now in this era, doing it together for the first time. You know, for a while there, I was coaching guys that they'd done it 100 times together. You know, a couple of years back. Now you're doing it the first time. It's going to be that way every year, it seems like. So it's weird, but we'll see. You know, but I will. You know, we will play the game as a real game tomorrow. You won't. I mean, you might see me sub 5 guys at one time, but it won't be a planned rotation type thing.
That off-guard spot seems like it's one of the deepest spots. I mean, obviously there's a lot of depth across the team, but what are you seeing out of that group right now?
Yeah, so I don't look at off, like, I don't know what do you mean by that. I'm going to assume you're showing age there. You're showing age on me with that. Nowadays, you know, it's a 3-guard.
Right.
You know, basketball's 3-4. You know, we call our 4 spot big guard.
Right.
So we go with 3 guards, and you try to play a big guard, which would be like Eric Daly, Tyler Bilodeau, Brandon Williams. So, you know, we have a host of opportunities for guys, you know, for me who to play. So I tell players, you know, players determine playing time. You know, everybody put in my situation, I'm talking about the players, would play the guy that gets the job done the most and make it hard on me. So we'll see. You know, I don't buy into rhetoric about, you know, people. Obviously, I'm not an internet guy, but I do have a dad. You know, I speak to very few people, and I try to speak to less. To be honest with you, as you get older, you subtract, right? You do that too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you subtract as you get older. You guys will learn that. You know, you're still adding friends, but you know you got who you're gonna play. You got all these guys. I know Here's the difference, okay? Just because guys had numbers doesn't make them good players. And I'm talking about all players. You know, there's guys that can play to, can you make your team win? And that is the challenge of the big question of the transfer portal. If you were to say to me, the question you should ask is, how do you think this is working? And what I would tell you is, they're all good guys, or we wouldn't have taken them, because you know that we're big on character and work ethic. But we have a lot of guys that haven't played at UCLA, that haven't played for me, and they haven't built the habits of winners. For instance, dumb fouls, egregiously risky passes, poor shot selection. Just get beat on defense because you're a little tired. Like, if you do those things, that's the reason your team lost. Now, you might have thought it was because you're coach. And why should you need a coach if you're supposedly want to be a pro, you want to be a pro, everybody wants to be a pro, then why would you take terrible shots? Why would you just get beat on defense? Why would you just foul a guy for no reason taking a bad shot? You know, but it's your coach is why you're losing.
Yeah.
Or your teammates. So, you know, now, just because guys are, what I've learned, you know, guys are older, but they need habits. And we're demanding on those things. And demanding coaches win. You know, I know, and everybody said, boy, that's tough. You know, well, it is what it is.
Last year it was a lot of guys new to college basketball, but how similar is the challenge with training them for your way
They're old.
of...
Yeah, it's first of all, we're more talented.
Right.
And you're tougher because you're older. So you're older, you can play harder, longer. You're stronger physically, so you can have some physicality. So it's definitely different. But there are challenges, as I just alluded to.
Yeah.
And I don't blame players for stuff like this, by the way. I do not blame players. You know, for any player to think, well, I'm going to go pro, and you go in and you can't guard anybody, you make dumb fouls, you take bad shots, and you don't know where to be on the floor. Like, how could you think you're a pro, but their agent tells them they are? Okay, their trainer tells them they are. You know, watch. I tell people why. Go to Instagram and watch a clip on Rich Paul. And he talks about what he would do if he had somebody. He would send them to a coach that's demanding, that teaches them how to do all these things, because you get in the NBA, you got no chance if you do all that stuff. And he goes into detail about it. So he should send every player here, since he lives close to me.
You talked about liking, a few weeks ago, liking to dictate tempo with your defense.
Yeah, I think that it could be a strength of our team.
So, piggybacking off of that, you mentioned the hockey line substitutions.
Yeah.
Is that something that we might see actually during the season? And how much is there a ceiling on minutes for even like the top guys?
Well, no. You got to coach each game by field, and what happens if you theoretically you keep assuming we got all these guys. I'm trying to find 5 that can play the way we need them to play to win. So let's just assume we got 10. Okay, that make good decisions and do all these winning things. Then you just go by feel. I've had that before. I mean, you know, you got to go with the hot hand, and that's just part of it. So what I would say is, you know, we didn't, in our scrimmage, we didn't really press. We pick up full court, but we didn't really press. So we'll see some of our pressure tomorrow night.
But you forced 24 turnovers.
Yep,
I think.
but we didn't press.
Wow. So does that?
We picked up full court. We had a few trap situations, but we didn't, you know, we didn't all out do it. I wanted to test. There's games where your half court defense is going to have to be effective, and I wanted us to have to practice that against a team that's extremely well coached and organized. So that would be good for us. It wasn't going to be, you know, I just didn't think it would be. We would learn anything from being able to steal the ball all the time. even though we did have a lot of them.
Two things that stood out from the box score, and I know that you probably are about to say they don't matter. 21 points off the 24 turnovers. I actually emailed Ken Pomeroy and said, "What's a good metric for?"
Yeah, what did he say?
He said 1.1
Yeah.
points off.
Should be.
Off of each possession. So you were a little bit below that, and then out rebounded in the game as well.
Yeah, well, you miss a million shots, you're going to get out rebounded because the other team's just going to get too many defensive points. So I think points off turnovers. You get into like teams. Again, I'm talking about habits of winning players, habits of winning teams. Turnover margin is huge. Okay, not just you you steal the ball, you got to take care of it. If you look at teams that are first in turnover margin in college basketball, you're going to look at the league champ of most high major leagues. If you look at my career, we've had that. We've either won the league or lost by a game. So turnover, it's not just turning people over, you got to take care of the ball as well. So it goes to, characteristics of winners is not just the players, it's winning teams or things that you do. But for this team, I'll keep saying it, I do, like you look at a team and say, well, what can we be really good at? All right, we don't have the National Player of the Year. We don't have the preseason All-American, right? But I think we can be elite in causing havoc defensively because of our depth at the guard, and our not just depth, it's speed. We have athletes at the guard position. You have one of the best defenders, if not the best perimeter defender in the country, in Kobe Johnson. But other guys that are a little older now, Bass and DA, Sky is a junior. Okay, Dom is in a whatever you want to call him, a redshirt senior. So you just have multiple guys with speed and quickness. So you can hopefully cause a lot of havoc defensively. Like, so you look at yourself, okay, well, this team might be great at that. Like, what could be we could be really good at? I think causing havoc defensively.
Talking to Trent about his recruitment a little bit, how important is it for you to have genuine relationships with some of the high school coaches around here?
Oh, extremely. You want me to go into guys? Or
I guess it was a yes or no question.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's huge. But look, one part like that doesn't like developing relationships with coaches is something I enjoy because I like that's who I like to talk to, and it's just. I mean, I'm just honest about it, because it's hard for others to understand what we do, what we go through. So the fact that, that I'm very close friends with certain guys that coach high school basketball. I mean, I don't just have that kind of. I really have a relationship with guys, whether it's play golf with them, go to dinner with them. It's because I'm the son of a high school coach, so it's kind of who I am. It's almost like I'm carrying their flag. I just get, they can look at me and say, hey, he's one of us. He's at UCLA, but he's really just one of us. I don't look at myself as I'm on any different level than them. The high school coach is the purest form of coaching. Although that's changed a little, because I used to say you got to coach whoever enrolls in your school. That's kind of changed. That's changed a little bit with the transfer world and the recruiting at the high school level. So, but they have the purest. They have to teach first. So they're usually guys come in with no teaching. So, but it's extremely important. But I don't look at it as work. That part of it.
Talking to Trent a little bit earlier, he seems like kind of an old soul. He was talking about how because what he did in high school doesn't matter. How he's coming in acting like he's the 13th man. How important is it to have somebody like that, especially somebody so young, already have that kind of mindset?
Well, my thing, like with a guy like Trent, okay, because somebody labeled him, he didn't label himself, okay, and they gave him a burger acknowledgement, and that's about all it's worth. It's a quarter pounder, which might have E. coli he's, first of all, one thing, he's extremely intelligent. Okay, so Trent came in here with credits, college credits. All right, so he's got the best transcript I've ever seen. So you can talk to him and see how mature and intelligent he is. But it's still the pressure, you know, the pressure of being young and, you know, people ranking you and those things. It is not the outside, it becomes internal, because what happens, well, I have to do this right away because somebody gave me this ranking. And I try hard to tell, just look, you will, most of us in life will, if you have talent and you work hard, you will get where you want to go. Like I would tell you guys that you're young, but probably not not as soon as you want. You know, Ben probably didn't get to, you know.
Well, actually, I did. But.
Yeah. Well, everybody gets lucky. I mean, our guys get lucky. I mean, you know, and that's part. You know, that's somewhat part of it. But you know, usually it takes you longer, and you don't get it. So don't even worry about when it's going to happen. Just try to play basketball and enjoy being in college. I think there's too much of, and I've said this. You follow me. It's too much a means to an end. You know, like I know Bob Hurley. You know, Darren was his best friend growing up. Like all he dreamt about was playing college basketball when he was playing in high school, and he was the best player in the country. He didn't dream about the NBA. He dreamt about playing in college. You know, like enjoy it, especially now you're getting money. Enjoy it and do the best you can, and just keep putting the work in. Eventually, he's got the talent. Eventually, he'll get what he wants. You know, but don't belittle this or minimize this, like this part of your life, and enjoy every bit of it. I mean, that's the hard thing, because everybody else tells them the opposite, that you're here to get there. You're here to, and every NBA player, we got more than anybody that played in the NBA that walks in here. I had another guy here Monday, tells them exactly what I just told them. You'll get more money if you get there, but you will not have as much fun. All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.